Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DH Pod, Designated Hitter Pod. John Bass here, about to bring it to you. Very excited, inaugural episode. Just something we want to do for a while, and just bringing our thoughts to the people. John, how are we doing today?
We're doing good. We're doing good. I'm getting ready for this. I'm ready for a little healthy banter. I'm hoping we get some fan interaction too as well. It's all for fun here, and I'm looking forward to getting it going.
Yeah, yeah. No, we're excited, um, and we really just want to just bring some good content, right? This isn't going to be, first take or Skip and Shannon, right? We're going to debate on a few topics, of course, right? You got a Yankees fan. You can see the flag back there. We're representing the bean over here for all my Northeast followers here. But we're going to come together, got a pod going, and we're excited to bring some good content to the people. So, let's jump right into it, John. Just a little segment. Everyone does a little buy and sell, right? What's hot, what's not. We want to give our takes here, and we'll start off with you, John. What are we buying? What are we selling? Let's hear it.
All right, I am buying the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson. Denver Broncos are rumored to be up for sale. What better way to own a team to have Russell Wilson as your starting QB?
Yep.
You're nothing in this league if you don't have a QB. And it's time to let Russ cook. It really is. I like it. I like the receivers that he has. I like, the opportunities around him. I think this is a good fit for him. I'm buying the Broncos and Russell Wilson.
Love it. Also, I don't know if you heard today, but apparently Mr. Russell Wilson is recruiting Bobby Wagner to the Denver Broncos, who was just released by the Seattle Seahawks after a 10-year run. And, you know, talk about their defense just getting so much better, their team just getting so much better.
Oh yeah.
Russ doing a little recruitment Russ in the building. I love to see it. Excited to see Russ. That's a great, great, great buy.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I'm going to stick in the same realm as you, but just on a bigger scale. I'm buying free agency in the NFL.
Mm.
It's an exciting time. For those of you who don't know, I was fortunate enough to play football in the great state of Rhode Island at Brown University, and football guy, football purist here, but sports guy. I don't want to limit myself, but this is just an exciting time. It's always an exciting time. You know, players having freedom to cash in on big checks. Obviously, I'm a fan of the New Orleans Saints. Excited to see what they do. Like John said, you can't contend if you don't have a quarterback. I'd say we are in the quarterback market, but a lot of moving pieces. There has been a changing of the guard, if you will, when it comes to the quarterbacks in the NFL. And, the young guys, the Mahomes, the Herberts, the Burrows, those guys are taking the league by storm. And, I'm hopeful that we can add that to our list. But again, just a bunch of guys moving around, cashing in, and, teams
Nobody
are.
does free agency like the NFL.
I mean, it's just
Nobody
it's
does it.
incredible. It's incredible,
Yeah.
and the thing that I think is going to propel teams to be more active. I mean, look at our current Super Bowl champions, the LA Rams. Talk about a team that mortgaged their future. I mean, they don't have a first round pick till probably 2029. They don't care, right? Because
Yeah.
championships live forever. We don't know who those players are going to be. They sold the farm for their assets, and it paid off tenfold. So, I think a lot of teams are going to start following that motto and that mantra, and as they should,
Yeah.
It's going to be an exciting time in NFL free agency. Already is a couple moving parts, and it's just something I buy. Got to buy that
Yep.
right now. It's hot.
Solid buy right there.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited, man. I don't know what the G-men are going to do this year. It's gonna
Oh,
it's gonna be a
the
tough
G
year for
man,
the
the
old
G
G
man
man.
need a lot of pieces here. Need a lot of pieces. So,
Well,
uh,
I'll say this though. Foundationally, the New York Football Giants, as they're known, have made some kind of front office changes. Right, they've kind of scrapped some leadership and added some new folks to the fold. And you know, NFL is a top down business. Right, starts with a good owner, good general manager, good president. Right. I mean, you look at the Rams. Right, they're the kind of the motto of success right now, and there's just a lot of continuity, and I think you guys are starting to build the same way, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Starting to build. I think we got a good coach. I think we got a good GM, but we'll see. We'll see.
Gotta put the pieces together.
In terms of a sell, I'm going to go with Brittany Griner. I mean, talk about the worst possible time to get stuck with the devil's lettuce, caught with the devil's lettuce. I mean,
Just can't
in
do it.
Russia, you know her sentence is up to 10 years?
10 years?
Yeah.
I mean, they can
Rumor
keep
has
her.
it.
We don't want her. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, talk about worse. I mean, she's on her own right now. It's you're not going to be able to negotiate your way out of this one right now. So I'm selling Brittany Garner. I mean, come on, really?
yeah,
Talk about just not having a feel. Mix in a clue, Brittany.
yeah.
Um, it's just it's not a good look.
No, it's not. It really isn't. And like, unless they're growing some stuff that you can't get in the states out there. I mean, what are we doing? Flying with contraband back and forth. It just really doesn't make a ton of sense.
No.
Um, Brittany, I know a couple people. I'm well connected in these streets. If you ever see the light of day again, I'll hook you up so you don't have to get caught in Russia or whatever the case you want. It's just not a smart play, and it's just I don't know,
Yeah,
not great.
so
No, it's a great
good
sell.
luck.
It's a great sell. If I had to sell anything, I hate to keep it in the NFL room, but Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is. I'm gonna sell Aaron. Um, he just signed his deal. That's great, or supposedly signed his deal. Whatever it is, he agreed to the deal. He's just a diva. He's a diva of a quarterback. He's a diva of a guy, right? He's for one year it's Danica Patrick, and he's getting out, and then the next year it's this other chick, and he's always got to be in the news, and you hear more from him than you do about his girlfriends, his fiancées. He's putting his toe on the camera. He's talking COVID. He's mincing words, and even when you think, all right, a deal's done, he's coming back 4 years, bunch of money, great for you, Aaron Rodgers. He's got to go on Twitter and clarify for the masses. And I haven't signed anything. The details aren't released. Give me a break, please. Just go out there, win a couple playoff games, and maybe win another Super Bowl. It's been a decade since you won a Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers. And it's not looking good because your buddy Devontae Adams is not happy with Packers ownership, and he's not playing under that franchise tag. So maybe you're going to have to reduce that money a little bit and throw some to your boy. No pun intended.
I mean, Rodgers is doing it for the unvaxxed.
Look. He's just
he loves
stirring
him some
up.
Aaron Rodgers.
He's just stirring up a bunch of stuff. I mean, he just needs to go into politics if he really wants to do all this stuff. But I got to sell Aaron Rodgers. Just respect him as a player, right? I mean, one of the most talented players we've ever seen play the game at that position. But ultimately, I'm not here for the antics, right? I'm here for the play. So selling Aaron Rodgers.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I got one more sell for us here.
Oh,
I'm gonna go with Lululemon sneakers. I might catch some heat for this.
There goes the
but
endorsement,
Lululemon,
John. There goes the
yeah,
endorsement.
yeah.
Lulu's gone. Take it off the table.
They've got great apparel. They've got
See?
great apparel.
Oh, he's
It's
walking
good
it
quality.
back.
It might be a little bit more expensive, but it's great quality, and they stand behind it. But the sneakers, they're coming out with a women's line. It's called Bliss Feel or something like that. I mean, do we need another sneaker in the market? Do we really? I mean, how many people are going to come out with sneakers? You got Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, Noble. The list goes on. I think it is, or On Cloud, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really buying it. I think they should have just acquired somebody. They have to start from scratch in terms of this branding. And I mean, how much technology is really different in the sneakers,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
At least the price point's decent. At I think it was supposed to be $130. Decent compared to other sneakers, training sneakers. But I just don't think the market needs another sneaker. I know the Lulu, crowd is going to come after me, but just I don't think we need it. I'm selling the Lulu sneaker.
Yeah, you're going to catch a ton of heat for that, John. I'm not going to lie to you.
And so be it.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to Lulu, right? But a little too rich for my blood. I know they have a cult like following. Um, but you might catch some heat. I agree though. I think the market is saturated. Maybe it's because it's cheap to make shoes, right? There's not a lot of product that goes into it, so they can sell it for a high margin. But I mean, they
Yeah, your
do so
margins are great
well.
on
I mean,
sneakers.
yeah, but they're already doing so well. Their margins have to be good on clothes too, because that shit ain't
Yeah,
cheap either. So
yeah.
it's. I'll give you this. It's a risky sell. There goes the Lulu endorsement for us, John. But it seems like you didn't want it in the first place, so we're just.
I mean, hey, I wear a couple pairs of their sneaker or not sneakers.
See, there
Jesus,
you
look at
go.
me.
See, they
Their
got you.
shorts,
They got you.
their
You're
shorts.
hooked.
I'm sure the sneakers are going to turn out great. I'm sure they are. But I mean, it's just tough to take on Nike.
Yeah,
Everybody tries to do it, and Nike owns the market.
yeah.
They
No,
just do.
that's fair.
So
That's fair.
good luck to Lulu. I'll still rock your shorts and shirts and stuff. It's good stuff, but not the sneaker.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I do want to take the time here, and again, this is our first episode. Thank you for whoever's tuning in and giving us a listen, giving us a like, giving us a follow. We appreciate it. Again, we're doing this for you, but the dynamics of this podcast are, we got John, an accomplished baseball player in his prime. Myself, a decent safety. We are the DH pod. We are the designated hitter pod, and a part of that is baseball, right?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
it's rooted in what we do, what we enjoy, what we love, what we've grown up on, and I want to start off with a little segment behind the dish with John. And John's going to talk through a couple things that have just been on his mind. And obviously, the MLB has been in the news over the past, we'll call it 6 to 8 weeks. And John's got something he wants to get off his chest here. So we're going to give John some time and bring you guys behind the dish with John.
Major League Baseball pisses me off. They really do. I mean, let's start talking. Let's get right into it in
Yep.
this lockout here. You
Same
have
here.
millionaire owners, yeah, or billionaire owners and millionaire players, right? Arguing about money. First of all, who's going to win? The billionaires because they have all the leverage.
True.
I understand what the players are trying to do. They want some small market teams to be more competitive. They want some of these owners to spend money on the team instead of put it in their pocket. But it's just a bad look for baseball. You have the situation with Ukraine and Russia and COVID and people losing their jobs and inflation through the roof. And you have somebody that makes $50 million a year arguing about, hey, some of the players deserve more money. We deserve more money. I get it. I'm all for everybody making as much money as possible, but it's just bad timing.
Yep.
It's just a bad look for baseball.
It's fair.
The players got the minimum salary bumped from 500,000 to 700,000, which is a good increase. At the end of the day,
Sizable.
the owner still won. At the end of the day, they always will. Um, they had to tweak revenue sharing. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but there's just so much going on
Yep.
that it's just frustrating. I mean, you have big market teams that share revenues with small market teams. So you have, let's just take, for example, the Yankees that are a larger market team and the Orioles that are a small market team. So the Yankees share some of their revenue with the Orioles. So let's just take a number like 60 million goes from the Yankees revenue to the Orioles, right?
Fair.
Now the Orioles are taking that 60 million and not even putting it into their team. Their roster, their salary is like 55, 60 million for the year. So that is just the Yankees paying for their salary. That doesn't include any of the revenues that they've already made.
So the rich are becoming richer, is what you're saying.
It's just baffling to me. Now, ML, let's get away from the lockout because it's over. There's so many other parts that I didn't even get into
Yep.
to spare people.
Yep.
Let's get into MLB free agency.
Yeah. There we go.
There's 300 free agents available at the end of the lockout. End of the lockout, right?
Yep.
It was supposed to be a huge frenzy, guys signing left and right,
Yeah.
left and right. It is March 14th. Carlos Correa hasn't signed. Freddie Freeman's in strong discussions with the Dodgers. Trevor Story hasn't signed. You've
Yep.
got numerous guys that haven't signed. Camp started,
Yep.
and we're going into NFL free agency.
Yeah.
So who's going to take the spotlight?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is just the MLB. Just Rob Manfred just doesn't. He just doesn't know how to promote Major
You
League
know,
Baseball, and that's just what frustrates me. It's
yeah.
just
There's a couple things, John, and I appreciate you kind of just keeping it together there because I know there's a lot. I know there's a lot behind the curtain. There's a lot of things that need to be done, and I'll try and address a few things. And again, I'm no baseball purist, but I just feel like baseball has just always been behind the curve, right? Post this steroid era, baseball has been behind the curve. Right. I remember as a kid watching baseball and ESPN tuning in to, Barry Bonds and Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa and those guys. And the game was fun. The game had some juice. It had some excitement. At this point, I feel like, it's third on the totem pole. NFL's a
they're
big
they're
dog.
trying they're trying to bring back the excitement that was in the past. They're trying to manipulate the baseballs and whatnot, and they're trying to do like a pitch shot clock essentially. But it's all it's all just wrong. The
Yeah.
pace of play is the length of a football game is the same amount of time as the length of a baseball game. It comes out to like 3.5 hours or
Sure.
so,
Yeah.
but it's the amount of action
Yeah.
in the games.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just you have lulls there. I'm glad they got rid of pitchers hitting, so they have a universal DH,
Yeah.
which
We
is
got
great.
it.
I
Long
never want to see
overdue.
a pitcher hit
Long
ever
overdue.
again,
Yeah.
ever
No.
again.
No thanks.
But it just Major League Baseball, unfortunately, for the past couple of years now, has been anytime they're in the news, it's for something negative.
Yeah. That's
It's
fair.
never anything positive,
That's fair.
and
Yeah.
it's just a shame. It's just a shame, and I hope there can be some change here because honestly, the youth aren't really getting into baseball.
No. Yeah. No, it's
And
it's
it
it's
is a
true.
great sport. It's just they're not getting into baseball. The average age, I think, is like 54 years old.
That's not going to work. It's not
Yeah,
going to
I think
work.
the NBA, the average age of people watching is like 30 something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just we need to get younger kids watching. I mean, they do a commercial every once in a while with Mike Trout, like let the kids play. Come on, man. Nobody watches fucking people play on the West Coast. It's 10 o'clock at night and the game is on. It's 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody on the East Coast, and a lot of people watch baseball on the East Coast a ton. I think it's more popular on the East Coast than the West Coast. Don't quote me. But
I could
nobody
see
on the
that.
East Coast watches a 10 o'clock baseball game.
No.
They don't know the Machados, the Tatis Juniors who just got hurt, the
Oh
Trouts.
yeah. Sucks
I
for
mean,
him.
they don't
Worst
know
injury.
these guys. They go over there and they're gone.
Yeah, they're in the shadows. They're in the shadows. I
They're
mean,
gone.
talk about
Otani, another
yeah.
one.
There you go. I mean, and I agree, John. And like to your point, it's like some of these stars go out to the West Coast, and mind you, there's a lot of money out there. But again, being a Red Sox fan, Mookie Betts, like I just don't hear from the guy anymore, right? Like I just
Yeah.
you don't hear about his stat line. You don't really hear about a big game. He's playing. Their first pitch is at 10 p.m. and I just can't. I can't
Yeah.
get myself excited to do that. A LeBron James on the West Coast, absolutely, right? I'll
Yeah.
get up. I'll get up for that, right?
I mean,
So
let's stick with LeBron James. LeBron James on Twitter has more followers than every single Major League Baseball player combined.
that's a problem.
That's one person.
But okay,
And
John,
LeBron is probably the most influential athlete
right? You
that
took
we've
the big
seen.
dog. You took the big dog.
Yeah, yeah. But still, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Is it? Well, is that an MLB problem as much as it is a just kind of the type of player that you have that plays baseball because it's there obviously there's more people on the field. Well, I guess on aggregate, but whatever the case is, like obviously you have bigger personalities with basketball, and you can kind of you follow those kids. You can follow them from a younger age, right? You hear
Yeah,
about some young kids in the in high school getting drafted, and they kind of have to pave their way through the minors. But in basketball, you hear about these kids when they're 15, 16 years old. They got mixtapes, they got all this stuff, and it's like they build up that following when they are young kids. So is that a
Yeah.
baseball issue, or is that just a product of the type of player that's playing baseball?
It's a mixture of everything. I mean, you also have a ton of players coming from an international, so you also kind of you don't know a lot of those guys.
Sure.
Like the Yankees, for example, they have Jason Dominguez, who's supposedly, going to be the next big thing,
Is
but
that
a
the
lot of people
Martian?
just yeah, the Martian, yeah.
Oh, what a
But
name. Shout
a
out to
lot of
that
people
guy
just
for that name. My goodness, the Martian?
but a lot of people just don't know him unless they're like deeply in tune with the
Yeah,
game.
they got to be diehards.
Versus like LeBron in high school, everybody knew LeBron in high school. But
Yeah.
I think it's also you just like let the players have more of a personality on the field. Like LeBron has, sneakers left and right. All these guys have sneakers. Steph Curry's got sneakers. Everybody's got
Even the
sneakers. So it's
mid
like,
tier guys have
yeah,
sneakers.
yeah. So, but you see Major League Baseball guys that get fines for having certain stuff on their sneakers. Now, if it's promoting their own brand or whatever, saying something derogatory on the sneakers, I get you can't have that. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just let them let them like establish their own brand and promote it and
Yeah. Yeah. It is kind
just
of crazy because you have guys you know, like a Kawhi Leonard, right? He's got his claw, like his whole thing. You know, Kyrie's got his own brand. Obviously, LeBron has his brand. Allen Iverson back in the day with, a
the
lot of the
AI,
things that
yeah.
he did, AI, and all those guys had their own, because life continues after the sport, right?
Yep.
And I feel like, baseball really just, you have to take, pay your dues. You're in this league. You're going to do it by my rules, and that's the way it's going to be. And we've had this conversation before, John, and I don't know how much there is. Obviously, I'm not tuned in at that level, but why isn't there? And if there is, why isn't there more collaboration between the major sports in America, right? Like, why isn't Manfred talking to Goodell? Why isn't he talking to Adam Silver? Right? Like, those guys should be, they're in the entertainment business at the end of the day, right? And if they want to entertain the masses and do it at the best level, some guys are going to do it better than others, and that's fine. But if you want to promote your game, if you're a Rob Manfred who you'd like to think the guy loves baseball. He breathes baseball. That's his favorite thing in the world, right? Wouldn't you do everything you could do to better the game and emulate and take some of the things that these other leagues are doing well to promote your game in the same way, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you would think, but they are still competing against one another for viewership
sure,
at some
absolutely,
point. At some point, but
absolutely,
Rob Manfred is only out for the owners. He only cares about the owners and pleasing them
yeah,
and increasing their revenue. And honestly, the game has been going downhill, but revenues have been going, you know, up for all these owners and whatnot. Hopefully, bringing some baseball to Amazon and Apple,
Apple. Yep,
get
I did
more
see that.
viewers.
Yep,
The stupid bullshit blackout things
yeah,
that they
that's just
have
not good for the
is just
game.
stupid. You got to get more eyes on the game.
Yeah,
Fuck the blackouts.
just
Get
make it
rid of
more
them.
accessible. Make it more
Yeah,
accessible for the
just
youth.
get everybody that you possibly can watching the game of baseball.
Yeah. You just,
And get some good commentators. I think Major League Baseball needs something like the Manning show.
yeah,
With Eli and
yeah,
Peyton. They need
absolutely.
something like that. And they need it with
Absolutely.
somebody that's not A-Rod. They're trying to do it with A-Rod and Michael Kay. I love Michael Kay. Of course, I appreciate everything A-Rod did for the Yankees, but all those roller coasters. But they need somebody that can have that playful banter
Yep.
like Eli and Peyton had as brothers.
Yeah.
They just and that's just showing people's personalities. They need that for Major League Baseball, and
And
it's not A Rod.
and
People
I
hate A Rod.
and I'm happy you said that, John. That's a really, really strong point. It's a good point because for a guy like me, again, I know the basics when it comes to baseball, right? And I've learned a lot more over the years, but I think the Mannycast is so important because for people who haven't played the game for 5, 7, 10 plus years that know the ins and outs of it, especially that position, right? They need to know everything. It helps educate a lot of the you know the uneducated when it comes to the game, right? And so for
Yeah,
someone like me, I would be just so locked in if we had, a guy who had just retired or is, 5 years removed, who was a really good player that is talking about the game, talking through the game, whether it's a pitcher catcher combo, whether it's a pitcher hitter combo, whatever it is, kind of digging into the behind the scenes of, there's a game within a game, right? And
Yeah,
for those people who play sports at a very competitive level, there's a game that you see and there's a game that you don't,
yeah,
right? And you need to have that peek behind the curtain that really piques the interest of maybe just a casual fan who's just passing by and is like, oh, I'll watch this again. Like, I'm
yeah,
excited about this. You have to
yeah.
bring that excitement.
Yeah, and have somebody like, okay, the Yankees are playing the Red Sox. Have Pedro and have, I don't know, somebody like Jorge Posada
Yeah,
or Derek Jeter or somebody on in the cast and say, okay, we're bringing on this guest, this guest, this guest. We're bringing on Barry Bonds. We're bringing on,
yeah. Here comes
Roger
Big
Clemens,
Poppy and Ortiz.
Big
You know what I mean? And
Pappy.
those
We're having
guys.
all these guys come on there, just like the Mannings did,
Yeah,
and they can talk about the small things about the game that the average viewer doesn't know.
yeah,
You know, throwing at certain pitch counts, what they throw here, why they threw that pitch there. Just situational baseball a little bit more.
yep,
Doesn't have to get too into the nitty gritties,
yep,
whatever, but just something to get people to watch the game
yeah,
more.
yeah.
And it's
You need to build that excitement. I mean, we threw out a couple of suggestions and a couple of things that we'd like to see, but nonetheless, we feel like anything would help, right? They need some sort of juice, some sort of life to get back into this game because, you know, it's starting to fade away. It's starting to fade away. I mean, you told me a great story about, kids, some kids up in the Ohio area asking, hey, who's your favorite Cleveland Indian? And they're talking about guys who aren't even on the team and haven't been
aren't
on
on
the
the
team
team.
for
They say
years.
Francisco Lindor. Okay, yeah, great, but he's not on the team. Anybody else? Trevor Bauer. Great, another Cleveland Guardian.
Oh
But
shit!
he's not on the team. He's not on the team either. So
Right?
it's like, if you can't have the youth say, their favorite team, their hometown team, if they can't ramble off a couple of the guys, that's a problem.
It's a problem.
And I'm sorry this went on a tangent, multiple different directions. I'm just so fired up about baseball. I'm glad it's back. I hope they can continue to make improvements to the game to get more people watching it. I'm very excited for the season.
Yep.
I'm excited to watch every single game possible, soak it all in. That's me coming from that's me on the baseball side of
No,
things.
that's good. That's good. And like you said, there's a bunch of free agents that need homes. Hopefully, we'll hear something soon about these guys and some big landing spots, some good contracts coming out here to
Yeah.
continue to better the game. So
Yeah, and more playoff baseball, which is a good thing.
love
Playoff
that.
baseball, there's nothing like it, honestly.
Love that. Very
It's
true.
great. I kind of compare it to like playoff hockey. You know how many people don't watch anything in the season, but then playoff hockey, it gets
Oh,
crazy.
fantastic.
Playoff baseball, same way. Anything can happen. Anybody can take a series. You got a team that's hot and they take over. So playoff baseball is just great to watch.
No, and that's great. And ladies and gentlemen, that is Behind the Dish with John. A little treat for yourselves. But
Hmm.
we're getting to our top five today, and our top five is fast food. Um, fast food is something that, as a kid, I definitely got to enjoy more than I do now. Whether it's coming home late from practice and sneaking in a Big Mac or something and hitting a drive-through or whatever the case is, but a little bit of nostalgia here in this top five. But we're going to top five fast foods. Uh,
Oh yeah.
you want to start here, John? What are we doing? Let's start up from
Oh
from
yeah.
5 to 1 here and build a little
Okay,
bit of
5 to 1,
suspense.
5 to 1. All right, this is a big topic for me.
Yeah, it's
I
huge.
was kind of all over the map here. Um, I'm trying to narrow it down to items that I know or places that I know I can go get a reliable, meal.
Sure.
Um, it definitely changed since I was a kid.
Okay. It's good to
But
know.
I'm gonna start off with Firehouse Subs.
Wow.
Have you
Talk
ever had
about a left
Firehouse Subs?
fielder. My gosh. This guy.
Firehouse Subs, you go in there, you get a fat, sub. Fat. They pound on the meats. Nice grilled. You go to the vending machine for a drink, not vending machine, but you know what I mean, the dispenser. You can pick out any of the assortments that they have there. Talk about a hearty sub. The chicken bacon ranch, they got
Wow.
extra bacon on there. Firehouse Subs is probably my number five.
Okay. Wow. All right. I'll just tell you right now, you're going to be in the minority, but that's okay.
There's
That's
no
okay.
shot.
Go
There's
ahead.
no shot.
Go ahead.
Firehouse Subs is great. Number four, I'm gonna go with Five Guys.
Sure.
Five Guys, great burger, love it.
Yeah.
I get a little frustrated that I have to pay for the fries on the side, but it's a solid burger.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think it's better than In and Out. In and
I
Out's
haven't had In
overrated.
and Out, so I can't say. I'm not going to comment.
I think it's better than In and Out.
Okay. Okay.
Anything that you need to, I'll just say this about In and Out. Anything that you need to slather all that extra bullshit on there, like the fries, that means it's not good. If you need to add all these extra, cheeses and meats on the fries, that means the fries are ass. So I'll just go with that. I love Five Guys. Great burger.
Sure.
Give me a double.
Fair.
Three, I'm gonna go with Wendy's.
Okay.
Wendy's, they got a great baconator.
Yeah.
Their nuggets are good too.
Yeah.
Their fries, they had a little hiccup there
Yeah,
with
they
their.
did.
I think they're
They
back
did.
with the fries. I
Yeah.
think
A
so.
little
I'm
bit
gonna
more
go with
salt on those
Wendy's.
fries. A little bit more salt on
Oh
those
yeah, oh yeah,
fries.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Number two, Mickey Dang Dangs,
Yeah, baby.
McDonald's. The thing that's saving McDonald's is their breakfast.
Sure.
Their
Absolutely.
breakfast is elite.
Absolutely.
Is elite.
Yep.
I mean, whew, their breakfast is great.
Yeah.
Now I feel like garbage afterwards
Sure.
because I'm old. But Mickey Dang Dang's number two.
Yeah. Fair.
Number one, and it was difficult, but I'm gonna go with Chick-fil-A for number one. Hear me out.
Okay. Let's hear
The
it.
reason why I'm going with Chick-fil-A is it at my old age of 30, I don't feel completely like a trash bucket after I eat it. I mean, McDonald's, anything else puts me in a blender.
Yeah. Yeah. Really
Chick
gets
fil
to
A,
you.
I'm somewhat okay. Their fries aren't that good,
Yep.
but their chicken and the Chick fil A sauce saves them. I like Chick fil A over Polynesian. I'm a big Chick fil A sauce guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's going to be the. I mean, you're in the majority there. I I'm a big fan of the Polynesian. I like the little Asian flair they got going on with the Polynesian. I do think it's a nice mix up. It's a little bit sweeter. I just that's personal preference, but we're getting into the weeds.
Yeah,
But
I like the chicken sandwich
yeah,
with the pickles, like SpongeBob. Where's my pickles?
no pickles. No.
I like the strips too. I just think it's good. You know what you're going to get every time. It's pretty consistent. And then I'll do one shout out. Um, I, I like Chipotle. Now, the thing with Chipotle is you can't go on Sundays. And I say that because you get the stale chips on the Sundays.
Wow.
Every single time I've been on a Sunday, you get stale chips. But I like Chipotle. Some people hate it. Some people like Qdoba better than Chipotle. I think Chipotle is better. So
Um,
that's me. Shout out, honorable mention is Chipotle at number six. Number one, I got to stick with Chick-fil-A.
you really rounded it out towards the end. The Firehouse Subs off the gate is it's just a really, really bold play. It really
Yeah,
is.
because you get the hearty
I
sandwich.
mean,
It
that's
is.
that's
I
fine. That's
mean, talk
fine.
about putting Subway to shame.
Oh
I
well, I
mean,
mean, in comparison to Subway, of course. I mean, you're not really reaching for the stars here, but
it's in the same. They're a competitor. A Subway
uh
sandwich is like this, like with
well,
the meat on
that's
there, and
well,
Firehouse is like this.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Pause. But I mean,
Probably pause.
um, the thing that Subway has is they have the coverage, right? They're everywhere, right? You go to a gas station, there's a Subway in there. You go to a little Indian market, there's a fucking Subway in there. So you just gotta
Yeah. I'd
That's the
rather
thing.
get a taquito from a gas
See,
station than
now
Subway.
you're just getting crazy.
I'd rather have a tuna sandwich from a gas station than eat Subway.
I mean, you're just gonna get food poisoning. Is at that point. I mean,
I'd take it
yeah, that's fair.
over Subway, except for the
Well,
cookies.
I mean, again, just bold play, but rounded it out towards the end. I think your top three was solid. So I'll jump into mine here. At number five, this was definitely something that was a staple for me in my teens, and I just have the most great fond memories of this place, and it's Checkers. Some may know it as Rallies. Um, and Checkers is great because you get a good hearty burger. If they double up, they can triple up if you want to. You can get a little milkshake in there too if you want. Right? Great fries, really really good fries,
I've heard they got
and
good
just
fries.
overall, as a whole, as a cohesive unit when it comes to fast food, Checkers checks the boxes. Okay, so that's going to be number five. Number four for me, I'm going to go Wendy's. Wendy's at number four. Now, we've had this conversation before, John, but Wendy's is a place that they don't do anything great, but they do everything good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The nuggets are good.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the fries got a little bit of a touch up, a little bit of a facelift. The fries are good. The burgers are good. Their chicken sandwiches are pretty good too. I'd say their chicken sandwiches are probably the most underrated in the fast food market at this point,
Mm-hmm.
but those are good.
Yep.
And then you get a frosty. Everyone forgets about the frosty, right?
Do you dip your fries in the frosty?
Yeah, to each his own. It's not really.
I don't.
It's not really my thing. But if you do,
Yeah.
that's okay. I'm not going to
Yeah.
judge you either way, right? But talk about a frosty machine that's just reliable. You go to
Yeah. Yeah.
McDonald's, right? Have you
It's
ever gone to
50-50.
Wendy's and they said, "No, we don't. The frosties aren't working." You never do,
Never.
right?
Yep.
Their
Mr.
mechanic
Frosty is
deserves a raise.
always.
Whoever's
Yeah.
fixing up that thing, they're doing it right. Wendy's number four, solid in the
Okay.
four spot.
Okay.
Number three, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A coming in the
As
three
well.
spot for me. Okay.
Okay.
Um, some people may be outraged by that. I'm not. Here's the thing, right? I understand it's a chicken based restaurant. That's fine. I have no problems. I love chicken. Um, the fries are good, right? A little bit overrated. They could throw a little bit more salt on those things,
A little
right?
seasoning.
I
Jesus
mean,
Christ.
they just need a little bit more gusto, right? Like, don't
Yeah.
be afraid. And I know they pride themselves on their traditional roots or whatever the case is. But can I get a Cajun fry in there, a little seasoning? Can I get something in there
Something.
to just mix
Yeah.
it up? Sometimes they need a little bit of gusto. I do what I do like about Chick-fil-A. Obviously, the sandwich are solid. I could do without the pickles, but I understand the pickles and chicken sandwich combo. It's kind of one of those unspoken things that need to happen. The other thing that propels Chick-fil-A up for me is the lemonade. I'm a big lemonade guy, right? Getting
Sweet tea is good
I
too.
mean, just the beverages, they do it well. I like the styrofoam cup that they put it into. So the details when it comes to service, right? Overall
Yeah.
quality of product, right? Chick-fil-A at the three spot, again, doing everything really, really well. Okay.
Yep.
Number two, Five Guys Burgers and Fries. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's probably the best fast food burger that you can get out there. Now you pay for it, right? You pay for the quality of burger that you're getting, but the quality is always good, right?
Oh
Do I
yeah.
like that it's expensive? Do I like that I got to pay extra for bacon? Do I like that I got to pay extra for the fries? No, I don't, right? But if I get what I pay for and it's a good product, they're going to keep me coming back,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
So, Five Guys burgers and fries, very very good. I mean, it, if you eat Five Guys at noon, you're not going to need to eat again until maybe 8 p.m. Right? It sits in you like a rock. It really
Oh.
does.
Oh, you're not moving the rest of the
Yeah,
day.
you're
You're
done.
done. Your day is done.
You're done.
Sit in
You're
front of
done.
the
I made the
couch. Your
mistake
day
one
is shot.
time of grabbing that for lunch at work one day, and my productivity was in the negatives. Like I lost the
Oh yeah.
company money that day, so it was a tough day for Bass. And number one shouldn't be any surprise to those who know me. It's McDonald's. Um, and the reason McDonald's is number one, and it probably will always be number one to me, is you know they have good variety, right? Like you mentioned, I think the breakfast point is huge,
Mhm.
right? I mean, their breakfast will soak up a hangover like nobody's business. I mean, you go
Oh
out
yeah.
there and you double up on those hash browns. You get a nice McGriddle. You can get a biscuit. You can get a bagel. You can get whatever you want. And it's always going to be rocking. It's always good.
Yeah, I'm crushing four of those
Yeah, no,
hash
I
browns
mean, to each
easy.
his own. And no one's ever going to
Easy.
judge you. No one's ever going to judge you. The burgers are good. The fries never lack salt. If anything, they could pull back on it a little bit, but, you know, I don't
Even the
care.
Coca-Cola hits
I
different.
don't care. The Coke hits different. The Sprite hits different.
Hmm.
But more than anything, when I'm in my darkest days, McDonald's is always there for you, right? It doesn't judge you. It doesn't care how much you had to drink the night before. It doesn't matter how hungry you are and how big your order is. It doesn't matter. It's always going to be there for you. And McDonald's coming in at the one spot is it's just undefeated. It really
Yep.
is. And talk about a product that's been consistent. Now they've had their hits and they've had their misses, right? I'm not a huge fillet of fish guy. I'm not a McRib guy. All that stuff is, they sold chicken wings for a quick second and it just didn't really work out.
Yeah.
They'll swing and they'll miss, but their staples are always going to be good. And McDonald's is always going to come in at the one spot for me unless something
Yeah.
drastic changes.
I mean, one that we both kept off the list, Burger King. What what are they doing? I mean, what are they good at?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I
I
just
mean,
nothing, nothing.
their
They're
chicken
cheap,
fries stink.
cheap. It's just bad, bad.
It's just not good. I just have no desire to want to go to a BK.
And to me, the biggest issue I have with Burger King is the name. How are you going to call yourselves Burger King and suck at making a burger? I mean,
Yeah.
how are you going to do that? Like that, you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason LeBron calls himself the king, right? Like, ain't nobody
Yeah.
took his throne,
Yeah.
right? But Burger
Just gotta
King's
stand
out
by your
here
name.
just fraudulent claims, and
Yep.
they don't do anything well. Like, they try and be different and have onion rings. Nah, not great. The fries, nothing to write home about. I'd say my favorite item from Burger King is their croissant sandwich, their breakfast sandwich, which is really
Yeah, that's
good.
pretty fire.
Just
Yeah, the
because it's
croissant.
something
Yeah.
that you don't really get and something that you don't really can get on the fly. That's the best item that they have. But
Yeah.
even that doesn't compare to the just the array of items that you can get at McDonald's for breakfast. Like, I'm never going to
Yeah.
make the conscious decision unless there's a Burger King 3 miles away and the next McDonald's is like 15 miles away. I might have
Even
to bite
then.
the bullet, but even then, I'm like, I got to make a decision. Like,
Yeah.
I might go for it.
Yeah. What another one that we didn't bring up is Taco Bell.
So I had Taco Bell on my list, um, and it's always going to have that was actually going to be my honorable mention, Taco Bell, and
Okay.
again, a place that has a kind of a soft spot for me. A lot of drunken nights at Taco Bell, just house and soft tacos, hard tacos. I mean,
Crunchwrap
Crunchwrap
Supreme.
Supremes, cheesy gordita crunches. I mean,
Mm,
that
Baja
$5
Blast.
box is it changed the game. It really did.
Yeah.
It changed the game. I mean, chicken chalupas. I mean, the list goes on and on. But I think everyone can attest to this. Is good luck. Good luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean the
Taken.
after
Liam Neeson.
effects, the after
The
effects,
aftermath
you're
is
taking
just
the Browns to the Super Bowl.
yeah.
I
It's
gotta,
yeah. Yeah.
you
It's
got a
not.
brown
It's not
snake
great.
playing peekaboo with your bone hole.
Yeah.
It's just that's just what you get from Taco Bell. Sorry, it's just
But
you have to deal with it.
from time to time, it sometimes it's worth it, but it's very occasional, It's
Yeah.
very, very occasional. So
I'll say just make sure you have some extra TP in the house
yeah,
when you go to Taco Bell.
you might need a wet wipe too, there, Jeff.
I'll say one other thing that I wanted to throw in here about fast food: the best fries in the game, Arby's, hands down.
See, this is a
I
hill that
will.
you just that you want to die
I'll
on.
die on the stake of this one.
Mhm.
Arby's has the best fries. I will go out of my way to get Arby's fries, Chick-fil-A tenders, breakfast from McDonald's. I mean, those are just staples. Now,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
can't speak to anything else at Arby's that we have the meats. I, but their fries are great. If you haven't had them, go get them.
I haven't had them in such a long time. I just have really poor memories of Arby's. Whether it's driving back from a road trip in college and stopping at Arby's, and it's just I'm not a big roast beef guy, so that doesn't really appeal to
Yeah,
me. And
just get the fries. That's it.
yeah, but
That's it.
why do that? Like if I'm gonna I understand the thought of like, all right, if the fries are this good, like I'll snag it, and then if there's a McDonald's in the same plaza, I'll go grab me a meal or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case is. That's fine, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to make an extra stop. I'm just not. I'm just
Yeah.
not. Because half of the time, that food ain't gonna make it till when I get home. Like I'm scarfing that thing and like in the car, like it's gone.
Uh, oh yeah, you got to get a road snack too,
That's what I'm
just in
saying.
case.
So now we're really piling it on, and again, the productivity for the day is just gone. It's out the
Yeah.
window. So
Oh yeah. But I feel like these are once an occasion type deals. We
sure.
try and eat healthy. So, fast food is usually out for us. But every once in a while, you just need to indulge, get a couple unhealthy choices in there.
Yeah, no, that's great. No, I mean, I think Johnny, you had some decent ones on there. I do think that I'm interested to hear what the following has to say about Firehouse Subs, and by no means am I trying to throw Firehouse Subs under the bus. Okay, they do have a great quality sandwich, right? The
Oh yeah.
it's really good. I'm not saying anything negative about it. I do appreciate the men and women who are going into those homes and saving lives and all that
Yes,
stuff. Like
thank
they
you.
they represent a
Hmm.
really great cause. Shout out to
Yep.
Firehouse Subs for sure. But you know, when I think about top five fast foods, it's just hard to put them in the mix. But again, this is your top five. I don't want to disparage you and say anything
I have
that's
to. I've got to put some type of sub in there. Just a good sub, The
well,
others are just can't. The others I just can't get behind enough to put them in the top five.
So okay, so let me ask you this then, John. When we're talking about those chain fast food sub places, we're looking at a Jimmy John's, we're looking at a Jersey Mike's, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, the Firehouse Subs, the Subways of the world. You're taking Firehouse when it comes to that grouping,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Okay.
I just think you just get a better overall sub.
I'm gonna throw out two things out there for maybe some of our followers may not know about these places. I'm sure one of these places they'll know a lot about. Pub sub is undefeated. All right, you go to
Yeah.
Publix and you grab a sub. Okay, that's more of an East Coast thing. You'll get a Publix up in the Virginia area. You got a Publix by you, John? You got a Publix, right?
We don't in Pennsylvania. It really stops. I think in that
Virginia?
Virginia
Yeah,
market. Yeah, that Richmond.
yeah,
When we were there, we had them.
yeah.
Pub subs,
Pub subs are
awesome.
incredible. Pub subs are incredible. And I'll
And
go
if and
out
if you
this.
go ahead.
And this is going to be a shout out to you, John. One of the best subs I've ever had in my life. Hoagie Haven. Hoagie Haven in New Jersey. Is that in Princeton, John? Is that Princeton,
Yes,
New
it
Jersey?
is.
I
Oh,
mean,
yes, it is.
talk about variety. That sub probably weighed 7 pounds. I mean,
Oh yeah.
just they don't hold back. You're going to wait a little bit, right? It's going to take a little bit for them to get it all put together. But when they do, gosh, it's worth it. Hoagie Haven, Princeton, New Jersey.
Yeah, I
Fantastic
mean,
sub.
you're talking about like your intoxicated nights where you have you get a dirty Sanchez, which is the chicken fingers, the French fries, and the mott sticks with Sanchez sauce on there. I mean, the fat lady, you get a cheesesteak, mott sticks, and French fries. Those are hearty subs. You're just soaking up all the booze.
This guy. This guy.
Of
John,
course,
can
when
you
you're of
clarify for
age.
the people who don't know what a dirty Sanchez is, and we're not talking about the explicit dirty Sanchez
Oh, no, no,
sandwich.
no, no,
No, I
no.
know, but
The
there are going to be
sandwich.
people who don't know what that is. You need
Okay.
to clarify for the
Ho,
people.
yeah, for the people, Hoagie Haven in Princeton, New Jersey, they've got a dirty Sanchez sub. It is chicken fingers, mott sticks, and French fries with the Sanchez sauce on there. It is great.
Yeah, no, it is.
And that,
It is.
and then they also have a fat lady,
Yeah,
which is the cheesesteak, mott sticks, and
really good.
French fries.
Really
I
good.
mean, these are just great sandwiches. So
Yeah, just
shout out to
puts
them
you in a
as
coma.
well.
Yeah, puts you in a coma.
Oh
But
yeah, for sure.
I had to throw that out there again. Me being a Florida guy, growing up with pub subs, integral part of my childhood. And man, I've lost count of how many I've had. And then for you, I was fortunate enough to try Hoagie Haven a few times, and worth the price of admission. So I
Oh yeah.
had to shout that out. But
Yeah, I also have to shout out Wawa too. Wawa is better than Sheets.
yeah,
Come at
well,
me, anybody you want. Wawa is better than
all
Sheets.
right, that I'm telling you that West Pennsylvania, Ohio grouping of people out there are really gonna have something to say. But leave it in the comments, guys. If John's kind of talking out of line here, if we're talking out of line, if we're not if we're missing something, please let us know.
Yeah.
We're not perfect, right? We make mistakes, and it's up to you guys to hold us in line and hold us accountable here. So, I think that's going to be it for the first episode. And again, excited to bring you some more content. We're excited to do this for you guys, and you've just experienced a DH pod.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to reach out to us, hit us up at the dhpod@gmail.com. And we're looking forward to many more episodes and many more topics and gonna get you guys laughing a little bit. That's our goal.
Yeah,
So
yeah. If there's content you want to hear, if there's topics you want to hear, if there's something that you want to get our opinion on, if you want to contribute to the show, like John said, the dhpod@gmail, send us an email. We're going to get all our links and all that stuff up. Leave us comments, subscribe, like. We appreciate it so much. And episode 2 coming soon. Thanks, guys.
thank you.